What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we're up here at the shop, and today, you know the last video where I said I had a big announcement? Well, today's video we're going to be telling you what that is. So me and Ryan have been doing a lot of talking about our cars here lately, and so we've came up with a deal. And what we're doing is I'm trading Onyx with a little bit of cash on top for the GTO. Now let me explain just for a second the reason why we're doing this. So the reason why we're doing this is because I've always wanted a GTO. And as a matter of fact, I've always wanted a GTO in this blue color. His car is gonna be pretty much as fast as Onyx was, and whenever we get this thing supercharged. And I don't think it's a bad deal. I don't know, you guys let me know down in the comments below. I think it's a good deal. Some of you are probably gonna hate me because this is like very last second. I really think it's a good deal. It's gonna be good for the channel, I believe. And like I say, Onyx was a good car, but you know, sometimes you gotta move on. Psych! You guys thought I was trading for the GTO. No, I'm really not, but I do have a big announcement. So without further ado, let me show you what we got. All right, guys, you ready for the big reveal? I got my hand over the camera. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Da, 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 da.
It's beautiful.
So we bought Holley Sniper EFI for Onyx. So I'm actually really excited about this. And I know some of you guys are gonna be like, man, why ditch the carbureted look? And some of you guys are gonna be like, heck yeah, you're getting rid of the carbureted and you're going with the EFI like a normal human being. Well, let me give you the rundown of the reason why I wanna go with the EFI setup. Okay, so I've always had a really big dream of becoming a tuner and doing my own tuning and tuning EFI and getting a dyno for the shop. So this is pretty much the start of that adventure. And with this Holley Sniper, I can do a lot more with tuning than I can, of course, with the mechanical stuff on the carbureted setup. Like I say, guys, I'm really excited for this journey. I still got a lot to learn when it comes to tuning EFI stuff. I know a good bit already, but I still have a lot to learn. The carbureted stuff, I pretty much know how to do that. That's not a big deal at all. I can pretty much do that with my eyes closed now. And also, I've been wanting to start doing some performance stuff at the shop for other people and being able to tune it, you know, get it done for them, get it dynoed, get it dyno tuned or whatever, and you know, get it out the door for happy customers. I've always wanted to do that, become more performance oriented, and I'm gonna probably try to do that on the side. You know, a little bit of a side hustle, doing some tuning, some performance modifications and stuff like that. Just seems like a really good route for me to go because, you know, like I say, I love cars anyway. But yeah, guys, we're not trading for the GTO, even though the GTO is really nice. But we're getting his intercooler stuff plumbed up, and we actually got a lot of it plumbed up already. Got the stuff bead rolled, like I showed you in the last video. Got this side hooked up. We did trim out underneath the headlight right here to get it to fit and go to the supercharger, you know, easier so the headlight clears. And the only thing we may have a little bit of an issue with is this little stud right here, but if we have to, we'll just trim that off. But yeah, the intercooler piping's looking good on his car.
Not bad for a poor man.
Yeah, not bad for a poor man. So guys, I got a little bit excited and I actually already installed the Holley EFI. And this is carburetor style. Like, it looks like a carburetor, but there's actually 4 100 pound/hour injectors inside of this throttle body. It's pretty much throttle body injection is what it is. But yeah, this came in yesterday. Couldn't help myself. Had to start on it today and take and try to get this stuff on. And like I say, I'm not gonna do a how-to or anything on this, just gonna pick you up as you go. If you guys wanna see a really good how-to, Holley actually has a really good instructional video on how to set this all up and get it hooked up, wired up, and all that stuff. So there's no point in me doing a how-to video. I'll just, like I say, keep you guys up to date as we go with this install. So what I gotta do first actually is change a few things. I gotta change my fuel pressure regulator for a EFI rated regulator, something that has a higher pressure, which I already have. And I actually already have it, where is it? Oh, it's right here. I already have it, and the fuel pressure gauge already mounted up because this calls for 58.5 PSI of fuel pressure, and I got the gauge on there, that way I can tell how much fuel pressure I got. And this is pretty much the same regulator as what I had that's sitting there, you know, the old one. Just works at a higher fuel pressure. This one is a 15 to 100 PSI or something like that. Can't remember, but all I know is it's gonna work for what I need. So I'm gonna get started on this and try to get some stuff done, and we'll pick you guys up in a minute. All right, guys, just show you a little bit of what I got done so far. So I hooked up the new Holley wideband sensor. It's probably a Bosch wideband sensor, but anyways, one Holley sends. It's got a super long cable to run up there to the top where it plugs into the Holley Sniper. I did have the wideband right here, but as you can tell, that hangs down a lot lower than this side. This side's about right, you know, negative 10 degrees mounted. This one's like literally like 20 degrees, 15, and you could see where the O2 sensor, or my other wideband, had barely drug the ground right here. So I moved it to this side, number 1 cylinder side, and that looks a lot better. But let me let it down and show you what else we got. So we're at the top now, and of course I already told you guys I got that bolted on the Sniper itself. Had to put in the temperature sensor here. I drained a little bit of coolant so I could get the temperature sensor in it a lot easier. I think the next step is to plug in the wideband and change the fuel pressure regulator, and I honestly think that's it. So let's keep moving, get some of this stuff done. I'm trying to get it done as quick as possible, but still make a good video for you guys, because I'm trying to get it done this weekend. And really, honestly, I should be able to at least get it running. I won't be able to get it nitrous tuned or nothing like that, but I should be able to get it at least running on motor. All right, so we made a good bit of progress on the car. Actually, what I did is take and run the wiring harness for the fuel pump and the battery cables that I got to hook up. Positive and negative cable from the Holly harness directly to the battery. So I know all these wires, I hadn't really tied them up yet. But I got that run it down through here, in through a rubber grommet where the old computer harness comes through. Run it down along underneath the carpet, underneath this stuff back here, and beside the rear seat delete, all the way to the back of the car for the ground and the power. I already got the power hooked up, don't have the ground hooked up yet. Also got the fuel pump wire hooked up. I got it hooked up right there, as you can see. Also, I got the wire routed for the LCD touchscreen right here. I just gotta tie those wires up before I go driving down the road and get it all tangled up in the pedals. I got the distributor and stuff wired up. I just got to get the fuel stuff done with the fuel pressure regulator. I'm currently on the stock fuel pump right now. It should do enough for what I need just to get it driving. I do have another fuel pump coming Tuesday, which is a 400 liter per hour quantum fuel pump. Because the stock pump probably isn't going to handle nitrous very well, but it should get it running on the motor just fine. Well, let's hope it doesn't run out of fuel pump anyways. That would really suck. So all I got left to do, pretty much like I said, is get the fuel hooked up from the factory fuel lines to the throttle body injection. I still gotta tie up some wires here and there, but nothing too serious. But I'm really excited to hear this thing run on this Holly setup. Got to go through the setup wizard and stuff, tie some wires up out of the way with some zip ties and a few other things. But this is one of the simplest fuel injection systems to put on. It's really, I've been working on it for maybe 4 hours at the most, and it's pretty much almost done. Luckily, I know a little bit about what I'm doing too, so that helps a lot. Ain't that right, Ryan? Yeah. Ryan's sleepy. He had to hook up 6 wires on his GTO and 2 vacuum lines. He's wore out. Oh my gosh. Okay guys, after about 5 hours, maybe 6, it should be ready to start. I got all the setup wizard and stuff done. It was pretty simple. Let me show you kind of what we got. So I did a little bit different with the fuel setup. I took and ran the fuel line in the fender well out of the way from the tire and stuff, zip tied it up to the very top, ran it around to the fuel pressure regulator, to the EFI throttle body, and they actually already had a pre-made hose here that goes from across to both bowls. So pretty good little setup there, and it's got some AN stuff, so it looks pretty neat as well. But anyways guys, first startup, let's see what happens. I'm gonna let Ryan film for me. I'm pretty excited. I have my hopes up though, but I have my hopes up. So I'm probably gonna get my feelings hurt right now, which is, honestly, I need to check the fuel pressure first on the fuel pressure regulator and make sure it's at 58.5 pounds.
Yeah, I could check it for you. It's at like, is it on?
Yeah.
It's at like 3.
Let me prime it a couple times.
It shot up. Yeah, it's right at 58 now.
I got my little setup wizard here, so I'm gonna try to do a first start on this thing. Let's see what happens. I'm scared, to be dead honest with you. Let's go to monitor. Go back, go to, where am I going? Tuning. I still gotta figure out how to use this thing. I still don't know.
Look how pretty. I wanna hear it, TJ, come on.
Alright, let's see.
Alright.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. It sort of ran.
spit fuel a little bit. Your fuel pressure's about right.
Alright. Alright, let's go through a couple things here.
Hey. There's a rag on your headers. Well, it's smoking a little bit. It's still smoke. I just didn't want this. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You're good. Different back there. Right now it's running a little rich, but I got my foot on the gas because I'm keeping it running right now. But I know this thing will start learning and it'll start tuning itself here in a second. On the videos it shows that it starts right up and it runs perfect, but I know that's not always the case. But we're gonna let this thing run a little bit, see if it'll tune itself out. We'll go from there.
Alright, so if you can't tell, it's currently the next day. Actually, last night, ran into a little bit of issues with the EFI stuff, with the sniper. It was on my part, though. I skipped a step. I actually forgot to set the base timing before I did everything. So what you do, you're supposed to start it up and make sure your base timing is set at 15 degrees before top dead center. And if it is, you lock it down and go to your setup wizard or your little screen in there and set it to 15 degrees and then click set. It starts to learn and tune itself. And the self-tuning stuff on these I definitely think are good enough to get it running and running well, but I definitely am going to be hooking the laptop up to this thing and making sure that everything is good. I got the cable coming. It should be here I think sometime this coming week. It's currently Saturday. But yeah guys, so right now we're not going to be doing any kind of wide open throttle pulls or anything like that. And as for the nitrous guys, I'm actually going to leave it unhooked at this time because I actually want to use the Holley stuff to engage it and turn the nitrous on and off. And that way I can tune the nitrous a little bit better through the sniper setup. So I'll get to delete my wide open throttle switch and stuff like that because the Holley already has that stuff built into the computer and the throttle position sensor and stuff like that. So we're good there. I just got to hook up the power to the arming switch and stuff like that, and there's a few other things I got to do to get the nitrous hooked up, but like I said, gonna leave it unhooked for this point in time. But soon enough, because we do have a full bottle in the bag. All right, let's cut on the main switch and just see how this thing runs this morning. Let me do a little bit of cleaning up. I got a bunch of tools on the car. All right, here we go. First startup. Wow, this is running way better than it did yesterday. Setting the timing really helped this thing out. That's awesome. Air fuel's a little bit richer than I want at an idle, but like I say, it's not warmed up yet, so we'll see how it does whenever it's warmed up. And it should go into a learn status here shortly whenever it gets up to I think 160 degrees or something. So we'll let the sniper do its learn process. Look at that, guys. We are running with the EFI. That's not too bad, really, because I think that's That's the third time I started it on the EFI, maybe the fourth, but it fired up pretty good. Whenever I first put it on, I did have to crack the throttle just a little bit just to keep it running. But other than that, it's worked really well. Sounds really good at an idle too. It's idled up just a little bit high, but it still sounds good. All right, I definitely call that a successful EFI installation swap. And guys, you can't tell me that that does not look just killer on top of the intake there. That looks so good. But guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you are gonna enjoy the next journey for Onyx here and what we have planned for him. And also the next journey that I plan to take myself. And if you did enjoy the video, guys, be sure to smash the thumbs up down below. Also, if it's your first time viewing my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. That way you can stay up to date with all the videos coming out on Onyx and the Blue GTO here, and some of the other projects we're gonna be working on the channel. We're actually supercharging this. If you guys haven't seen this video yet, you need to go watch it. But as for me and Onyx here, we'll see you next time.